Star Wars: The High Republic, the Starlight stories. Or this is a book that is a collection of 5 original stories from the Galactic Frontier. Now, if you know the new High Republic books, the Starlight Tower is a pretty big part of the first part of the series. And so these are little stories that are written by different artists in this book. And it's a pretty neat book. I think this book is a little overpriced. This book is very thin. It should be about a $15 price point, but instead I paid about 18-20 bucks, somewhere in there. It was kind of fluctuating price on Amazon, so I don't know the exact price, but that was around the price. And you know, it's a nice book. There's some cool read-ups and interesting things in this book, and I like this book, don't get me wrong, but it's not a necessary read. A lot of this has like interviews and stuff, and with the creators and stuff, but you get these cool little tidbits about the Starlight Tower, some of the characters, things like that. And it's an interesting book, don't get me wrong. I believe these books were these little stories that are in this book. For a while, I believe the first part was just exclusive to, I think, a Star Wars Empire magazine. So if you didn't buy that magazine, you weren't going to be able to get these stories adapted into your cell. So obviously it must have been so popular that they decided to adapt it into a book and let multiple writers write stuff. And that's really neat. I'm cool with that. I do really like some of the art in here. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that art is. I think High Republic books always have great art, and just kind of flipping through it and showing you some of the cool art. Yeah, this book is not a must-own, a must-read, and that's why I'm confused of why it's like $18. I can get a full, like, 300-page novel in the High Republic book saga for the same price, or I can get this really thin. This is a very thin book, like very thin, with tiny little stories. They're not gigantic, huge stories. They're very tiny, and they're good stories. I liked reading them, but the price point is a little bit too high for this, because these are tiny stories. They're like mini stories in a collection that doesn't even make it big enough to, I would say, even have 300 pages or even 200. And I feel like if your book has less than 200 pages, $15 to $10 at most. I think this is a nice enough book that I could see 15, not 10, but I don't know, that's just me. I'd wait for a price drop on this one. I could see this one going on sale and getting pretty cheap. It's a good book. I enjoy having it, but it's not really important for you to read like the other books if you're following along with the High Republic series. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys next time.